It seems developers are utilising and weaponising the poverty of councils. Hi, welcome to another episode of More Hot Takes. Now, up and down the country, developers want to build properties. They're encouraged to do so by a government that's desperate for new homes. However, local developers find usually that these problems are coming up, that they're unsuitable. They're not the right sort of houses. Councils want to interfere. And so they get their planning officers to object, to change, to say no. It then leads to court cases, appeals, etc. Well, what's happening is that the developers have suddenly got wise. They have money. They have tame teams of lawyers. Councils, of course, they do have their lawyers, but they don't have enough money to pay them. They're all broke, basically. So what happens is a council will receive a planning permission, a planning application from a developer. The planning officer will say no, and then they will appeal it initially to the court, which the council will appeal, and then if that's lost, then the developer will go to the office of the Deputy Prime Minister. I've had to do this several times back when, oh good lord, Two Jags. Back when Two Jags was the Deputy Prime Minister, we had cases that he signed off for us when I was working for house builders. Now, at the moment though, every stage costs money, and councils are finding it easier just to say yes rather than to try and fight any kind of development. This is good for a developer. It means he can go, right, I want to put this and this and this and this in, because they want to build houses that will sell, whereas councils want houses, and lots of them, that are horrible, that people will buy, but they're not very nice. Developers want to build nice houses because the markup on a nice house is 35-40%. The markup on a shitty little rabbit hutch is only about 25%. So obviously for the developer, ka-ching, nice big houses, bit of curtilage here, ample parking there, an extra bedroom somewhere else, maybe extend that garden by an extra 20 yards. They may lose density of housing, but my God, they make up by the value added on the price. But councils don't like it, but there's very little they can do. So at the moment, it is starting to turn into a developer's market. What are the councils to do? Well, one of the options they're saying is that they're appealing to the Office of the Deputy Prime Minister to say to these developers, please stop saying yes. However, the Deputy Prime Minister is also charged with ensuring that the houses get built. Even though that Deputy Prime Minister is Lammy, who is Justice, it is the Office of the Deputy Prime Minister that is responsible for planning disputes. I know it's weird, it's just how it is. And so even though there is a Minister of Housing, he can't decide about planning. It's got to be Lammy who's in charge of justice. British, eh? The British have got a wonderful way of screwing everything up. The trouble for Lammy is it's a bit hard work for him to decide, and he's a lazy feck who knows nothing. So what he tends to do is just go, yeah, because it's easier to say yes than say no, because if he knows he says no, he's then got to go to court. So he just tends to say yes. Well, I've got to tell you, from someone who's worked 35 years in the construction industry, this is make hay time. All of a sudden, councils are being removed their ability to limit what is being built. So I would suggest to anyone out there in the greater wide world, if you have a house, or at least a plan and a bit of land, and you want to build a house, now's the time to put it in and put the plan in, and tell them you're prepared to take it all the way to the Deputy Prime Minister, because it won't get there, and planning more or less will be approved. This is a public service announcement, and you're welcome. Thanks very much. Bye.